What's up, guys? Transfer here, back with another Sheffield's Wednesdays, episode number 3, and I'm here with Yash Paul, and we're going to be reviewing and previewing the match against Hull. We're going to be reviewing the match against Brighton as well, the second leg. So let's get into this. So Yash Paul, how are you doing? Excitement builds up as tomorrow the playoff final is happening. Can we beat Hull City?
I think so. Because
okay, so let me just say this. Hull lost, I believe they lost the second leg, but they still made it through. Yeah. Alright, so come join us.
Yes.
Alright, so now Gyan has come to join us. So we're going to be talking about the playoff final. So if you look at Hull's results, they won the first leg 3-0. They lost the second one 2-0.
Yeah.
Sheffield didn't lose any of the matches. So we won the first one 2-0 at home. Second one we drew 1-1 with Brighton. Yeah. If you watch that first goal they scored, Brighton were dominant in the first few minutes. And then we got one opportunity, and we took it, and it was 1-1 Wallace. I mean, you got to give credit to Brighton. They had a lovely first goal, but then we got our first attack on, I believe. Wallace heads it in for 1-1.
Wallace.
Yeah.
And then the game just didn't just, I mean, the rest of it was nothing much. But then it ended 1-1, and we made it through to the playoff final. I guess Hull, do you think we'll beat Hull? I honestly think we can.
I honestly think we can. Because if Hull were not very consistent in this, look, losing 4-0 to Derby, that
was in the championship.
Yeah, but still, they lost 4-0, and then they beat them 3-0
in the first leg.
And then they lost 2-0 again.
Yeah.
So they're not consistent in their wins and losses.
And if you look at Sheffield's consistency, 2-0 against Brighton.
Brighton, yeah.
I mean,
and the third goal should have been, I think it wasn't offside.
I mean, you could say that Hull are due for a win in this, but I feel that because of Sheffield Wednesday's consistency and how they've not lost in the playoffs so far, I think Sheffield will win this.
I mean, you look at the advantage that they came in with into the second leg. You're 2-0 up, you're going away, you're always going to get through on that. I think Hull will be a big challenge.
But it's the fact
we've seen Hull play.
It's at Wembley as well.
I mean,
it's at Wembley. I'm so hyped.
Hull has been in the Premier League before, so they have that experience, which Sheffield Wednesday does not.
But Sheffield has history, has a huge, great history. Everybody, if you're a neutral, you want Sheffield Wednesday to get promoted. We're Sheffield Wednesday fans, we want them to get through.
I'm looking at just how they've been able to play against Arsenal in the FA Cup.
Exactly.
And they forced Arsenal to a replay.
We beat Arsenal 3-0. What was it, Capital Cup?
Hull are a very resolute side. They defend very well.
Manchester United only got one on them.
Hull are a very resolute side. They know how to defend. But I think that Sheffield's talent going forward will probably outweigh
Gary Hooper, you got Forestini as well there. And Forestini can play striker or cam. So that's what I like about him. He's a striker or he's a cam. And then Gary Hooper's as well.
One thing about Sheffield Wednesday is the investment they're going to get next year. And you look at the prospect of, as a neutral, as someone who wants to see the Premier League be more competitive, you think that Sheffield would imprint themselves on the Premier League in a bigger way than Hull would because of the investment from Chancery that they would get next year if they were promoted, compared to Hull, which would not be. It'd be similar to a Norwich situation where they don't strengthen that much. They just go in and say, "We hope you do this," because how much can they compete with these super
I think Chancery hasn't even invested that much in the championship.
Yes.
He's saying, get to the Premier League first, and once you get to the Premier League, I'm going to invest a whole ton of money.
Yes.
You go out and spend. And
what is the point of investing in the championship? Since the Premier League TV deals will basically stop you.
I think there was no point of him investing in the championship because they had a team that was good enough to get to the Premier League. That's why he didn't invest as much. But I think once you get to the Premier League, you need to survive.
But I feel like
it's survival.
And I can't wait for Sheffield Wednesday and Leicester.
I mean,
the Thailand derby. Everyone support Leicester, but I'm going to support Sheffield.
I'm going to support Sheffield as well
because I found this out recently. My dad actually was the president of the bank that allowed Chancery's father to buy the tuna company. So my dad was the president of UOB when the deal to buy this company by the Chancery family was done. My dad oversaw that and he financed it, and then that company then went and bought Sheffield.
Yeah, but this guy.
So if they were to come to Thailand, I would probably be able to meet them.
If you've been watching your profile recently, Jan called me a glorious supporter for supporting Sheffield Wednesday. on the video.
And now he's supporting
Yeah,
it.
now he's supporting it.
Like, I like Sheffield because my daddy's brother Sheffield.
Alright, so anything other than that? Score prediction.
Shout out to Straven's channel.
I'm gonna go with it.
And the other guy, Agastya, great guy.
Alright, but if
been watching their videos lately.
we don't want minors on Sheffield Wednesdays. Sheffield Wednesdays, okay? That's for Gyat's podcast.
Sorry, Hanuman.
We shall be on.
Sorry, Hanuman.
Alright. But if I'm gonna go for a score prediction, I would go for 2-1 to Sheffield against Hull. I think that's.
I think Sheffield will go 2-0.
2-0.
Wallace for 2.
I think it's gonna be a tough game.
2-1 as well.
Will it go to extra time? Yeah, I don't think it goes to extra time either.
What time's kickoff?
11 p.m. in our time.
Yes, lads. GMM will be showing it for sure.
This is one.
GMM is, I think. It's,
yeah. But the thing is, every neutral wants Sheffield just because of the history of Hillsborough. You know, and the history they've had.
And this is a special anniversary of Hillsborough, isn't it? This year.
Yeah.
It's some landmark anniversary of Hillsborough. So having Sheffield come up on that landmark anniversary. It just adds more to what, or it could be an exciting
It's just
prospect.
Interesting to see them come back up because you've seen Hull in the Premier League. We want to see
many
new faces like Middlesbrough. That's a new face. You haven't seen him for a long time. Burnley, we've seen though.
The rivalries that are already being put in place for next season.
Exactly.
Sheffield, Leicester will be a big one.
But the thing is,
Chelsea, Watford will be a big one.
And the thing is,
all these rivalries.
I believe the Sheffield manager, he's Portuguese.
Yes, I've heard.
Yeah.
He's Portuguese, and that's going to be interesting. Jose Mourinho. You've got all these big managers coming. With Watford manager, right? He left, right?
Yeah.
Matsari's
Flores
no,
left.
but the one before. He
Flores
was
left.
Yes.
Pinky Flores left.
So Pinky Flores. So you've got a lot of new managers coming in, and if he can somehow keep them up, it's going to be incredible.
They'll do that relegation battle. I mean, like it's going to be.
I feel like
I think next year there are no easy games in the Premier League. There is not one.
Yeah.
But
it's just going to be the most competitive season ever.
The only one that could be.
And I think, I don't want to say this, but I think if Hull go up, they're going to go down again. That's just what I think. I think
all the 3 promoted clubs coming into this league are by
vulnerable,
far the weakest.
Most.
They are way behind. Like you look at who just barely survived: Swansea, Bournemouth, and Sunderland. I don't see any 3 of those going down.
But the thing with Hull, they don't have a big investor like Chancery. We do. We have. The thing is, Sheffield, once we go up, Chancery will invest much more. I don't think the Hull City has that.
But who would want to go to Sheffield Wednesday? That's the question. Just because you have money doesn't mean another person's
you want to play in the Premier League.
Because you want to win.
The Premier League is the #1 league in the world right now.
Even if you can get some good players for Sheffield Wednesday, you can get some good players. Look at Watford, Deeney. Nobody expected him to be amazing in the Premier League. He was incredible.
It's about scouting. It really is about scouting.
Yeah, they need to invest in scouting more than anything.
They have that as well. I think that's what they got to do as well. But first, bring in some defenders that can. Well, what do you call it? I think what they're going to do is they're going to look at
hold the team.
This is what they're going to do. I think they're going to look at Norwich, Newcastle, and lastly.
My favorite relegated club now, Aston Villa.
Come
on,
Villa.
Robbie Di Matteo! Di Matteo!
I think they're going to look at some of those Norwich players to bring in because they just got relegated. They want to play in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So it's so easy to get those kind of players that are still decent, like Nathan Redmond.
I mean,
you can bring him. You can bring him to Sheffield.
Yeah.
You could bring who else we're looking at? Newcastle. I'm not sure about because
they can easily afford Papi Cisse.
Yeah, they can. But they can. That's the thing.
But get them relegated.
Yeah.
He literally get them relegated. No, I mean, it's interesting to see Aston Villa could have someone there now. That could, because there are some very good players.
Yeah, there's some very. Wait, is Vyman still playing there?
No,
Andreas Vyman.
Vyman is a derby.
Oh, okay.
But honestly, that's a very good team. And well, I mean, Robbie Di Matteo might just get them back up.
But I
want to see that.
I honestly think all these promoted clubs are looking at some of those bottom sides for some good players to bring in, and I think. We can do that as well. We can bring in some players from other European nations.
I feel that Sheffield Wednesday could get Norwich's Mbokani.
He hasn't played well this season. He has not.
But they need at least someone who has.
But we've got a good striker. You got Forstini and you've got Gary Hooper. They've been superb this season.
I think with the Premier League, it's always you build from the back. That's always
I think defense.
You build from the back. You go forward.
The thing is, you look at all the bottom teams. Their defense is terrible.
Yes.
And you need, in this league, pacey, physical.
Everyone got relegated. Didn't defend. You look at the people who like Bournemouth, they got the. I mean, they were pretty shit in some games, but when it mattered, until when they got to the 40 points. Before then, they
had an acceptable defense.
Yeah, but the thing
before
is,
they got to 40 points, that defense was hammering down.
Yeah.
Once they got to 40, once they survived, they just they laid off because. But Eddie Howe will find a solution.
But we gotta focus on defenders because it's that transition from championship defensive type football to Premier League. It's a huge.
If you've ever played FIFA, you know that as soon as you get promoted, you sign center backs.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the first thing we know.
If you look at Sheffield Wednesday's squad, they have players like Lewins, who's 31 years old, and Puriel, who's 29. They're not young anymore, so
we need to bring in
young players.
I think
they have a lot of old players in their first team.
Look, our attack is fine. That's what I think. I think it's capable of scoring goals. I think it's just the defense that you really need to solidify. You need that defense that can do it every day, day in, day out. You need that sort of defense in the Premier League. No, Westwood is great. I think Westwood is fine. I think goalkeeper is the last position we should be worrying about. I think it's defense, and then maybe look at more midfield or attack options, but defense for sure.
Midfield as well.
All right, so that's pretty much it. So we all think we're gonna win the playoff final. Hopefully, we'll be tuning in. We might do a review of it.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. But thank you for watching this episode of Sheffield's Wednesday.
Check out
Sheffield's Wednesdays. If you did enjoy, please like and subscribe. If you want to be featured on Sheffield's Wednesdays, comment below. We'll Skype you and you can be on our series.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time, guys. Thank you so much for watching and peace.